DMs to come up with some of your own content, or at least modify some existing content. So, if LadyShel would put a link in the chat to our community, we are Fantasy Grounds College. We are basically a community that has dedicated itself to teaching people how to use Fantasy Grounds, whether they own it or not, and hopefully it will inspire them to play their favorite role-playing game with Fantasy Grounds Virtual Tabletop. So I'm going to introduce the hostess with the mostest, LadyShel.
Gee, what an introduction. Hey, everybody. I don't know if anybody's in the chat, but hey, anyway, welcome to our stream on Spooktober, where we're going to talk about what's coming up here the following weekend, 25th through 27th of October. We hope that you will join us and play in some of our games. We have about 29 games that people can join and book a seat at a table. And we hope that you will join a couple games and have some fun and be spooky with us.
Yeah. So right now, I am looking at the Spooktober theme for 2019 for FGC. This is a custom theme. This was built by Londell, and he just kind of spruced it up and made it more Halloweenish. I have this theme loaded just for the occasion, and I'm gonna use this up until the Spooktober, probably till Halloween's over. At which time I will go back to my normal, everyday brown drab theme. Boo.
I love the brown drab theme. Can't even talk today. Theme.
Yeah, I do too. It's easier on the eyes. Um, Speaking of eyes, can you see, LadyShel? Can you see my screen in Discord or on Twitch?
I could see it in both places, but on Twitch, I see that you have opened up the what do you call it? NPC Engineer, I
Yep,
believe.
yep, NPC Engineer. I am going to use that piece of software for all who do not know what that is. NPC Engineer is a third-party software package that was put together by Mask, or also called Stefan. He's going to be on hiatus for a few months, so further development is not going to be pushed along for a while. He did leave us his last stable version, and it does quite a bit other than making NPCs. He added some table implementation. You can create items in there, and you can also do spells. So he's going to be on hiatus for a while. I'm not sure how long, but it's for some personal reasons. But anyhow, I'm going to be using his software to import a base vampire, and we are going to customize it the way we want to. So, LadyShel, um, I'm going to switch over to the uh, NPC Engineer screen. Can you see that on your screen?
I see the NPC Engineer, the gray, thing
Mm-hmm.
right on top of the desktop. I had a question.
Sure.
Is when you want to build an NPC, do you have to start with an existing one, or can you just like start from scratch and just start plugging in numbers and?
You can. You can actually start from scratch. It takes a little longer, but you can absolutely. It actually making certain creatures, it's probably best you do. But in this case, we're just going to take the base 5th edition vampire and modify it, rename it, give it a little bit different abilities, um, perhaps even expand upon what it already has, or maybe even dial it back. So it all depends on the challenge and the difficulty that you want to put on your players. So I guess the first step is I'm going to go to D&D Beyond. I have the full account there. But if you have a very nicely formatted PDF or a text file, or perhaps you can type much faster than me, you could absolutely fill this out by hand or you can import the text. So right now, I'm going to import the text from D&D Beyond. So I'm going to go to D&D Beyond, and from here, I am already at the monsters section. And what this is a repository for the monster manual. And I am looking at vampires. And they have the vampire spawn, which is a lesser of the two evils. So maybe we should work on a vampire spawn as opposed to a full-fledged vampire. But the vampire spawn is very anticlimactic. So maybe we'll just stick with the vampire. Let's see. So there's a stat block on here that I can copy and paste into NPC Engineer. So I'm going to grab the stat block from NPC Engineer.
By the way, we can't see that. The only thing that we're seeing is the NPC Engineer
That is
with
correct.
the blank stock. Okay,
That is correct. So I'm going to import text, and I have to change the input as D&D Beyond so that it formats correctly and it imports it with the correct filters. And I'm going to hit import and return. And now you should see some stats that are populated. Now the reason I've done
maybe
it.
if you didn't have my internet connection, you would. I'm still seeing blank stuff.
Okay. Well, I have some information here now. It has vampire. It says the gender is neutral. So let's put a little spin on this. So the gender being neutral, let's make this a female vampire. You don't see those very often. I think those are awesome. So I'm going to do a female vampire. I'm going to make her unique. So there's a way to change this to a unique creature for any reason.
I finally got your vampire stats.
Yep. And for any reason, it'll say unique. And then I will also put name. So we need to give her a name, Countess somebody, or maybe just something beautiful. Anything that would make sense for a vampire female. Can you take a stab at it, LadyShel?
How about? I have no idea. Let's see. Count Lady Death. That's what Jarvis said.
Count Lady Death? Okay,
yeah,
Countess. Countess.
Oh, Countess, yes, Countess.
How about Countess Contraire?
Okay. Jenkins said Countess Lillith.
Lilith, love it.
Yeah, like the wife of not Frasier. Was it Frasier's? No, not Frasier's wife.
Yeah, it was.
The brother's wife.
Yeah.
Was it Frasier's? Yeah, it was Frasier.
Ex-wife.
Yeah, ex-wife. Well, wasn't she his wife in some of the
I don't remember.
episodes? I can't remember. I don't think they were always.
Anyhow, so I changed it to Countess Lillith, made her female. She's unique, and that is her name. And size is medium, undead. She's tagged as a shape changer, just in case. Lawful evil. She has a natural armor class of 16 and a whole heck of a bunch of hit points. So this generic vampire has 144 hit points with 17 D8 plus 68 as the roll. So I'm going to re-roll her hit points, see what I come up with. So there's 140, 145. So I'm trying to, okay, 129. There we go. So I made it a little bit less. For her strength, I'm going to lower it by 1. But I'm
also wanted to thank Jacket Gaming for subscribing.
Yes, thank you. And then I'm going to raise her dexterity by 1. So I gave her 1 less on strength, but gave her 1 more on dex. I think her charisma is going to go up by 1, but her con is going to go down by 1. So that will be that. So she is obviously super beautiful, super charming, and super intelligent. Now, if you have saving throws for your particular character, if you actually double click where it says saving throws, it'll automatically populate these fields and put those into your stat block. Another thing is I want to change this icy background. I want to change the viewport theme to blood because this is what well, that's kind of hard to see on the stream. So I think I'll just turn it back to normal. There we go. There's your standard parchment looking. And let's see. So now I have it imported. I've changed a few things around. We gave her an actual formal name. And we changed her stats around a little bit. And her passive perception, that still makes sense. Challenge rating is probably about the same. Now I'm going to go to the list option. So the list options give you terrain type and mythology. So mythology is going to be fantasy. And then terrain type, I'm going to put urban, maybe, I don't know, maybe mountains or hills, probably hills, and coastal maybe. And that should pretty much do it. I mean, they can exist anywhere, but I think those are the main places that you would encounter them outside of a city. So I'm going to hit close. Now, I'm going to use a token that was created by Bernardo Hasselman. So if you haven't subscribed to him, I would definitely do so. He puts out about 10 tokens a month, and they are definitely nice. They are worth the effort. So if you're interested in some really good, high-quality tokens, I would subscribe to Bernardo Hasselman's Patreon. Well, LadyShel, if you don't mind finding that for me, that'd be awesome.
Looking it up right now.
Okay. So this vampire moves at 30 feet. If they have a fly speed, in which they could if they turn into a bat, it says a tiny bat it can polymorph to, or it could be, it says its walking speed is 5, but it has a flying speed of 30. And then it will have its statistics in there. So that might be a thing. So what I might do with that is use the, what do you call it? The one-click druid. And when this particular creature transforms into a bat, I can use the druid wild shape and just change it over, and it will actually convert all the stats. So that'd be pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to grab a token now. So I got to find Bernardo's. All right, so he's put out a couple vampire lords. This one looks rather female-ish. Let's see. Yes. So here is a token of Lilith. She's carrying a long sword, and she has a red cape, and her hands are extended out like a like claws, basically. So it's kind of cool looking. Here are the standard resistances. So honestly, I think vampires should be vulnerable to something, being that they are pretty much resistant to just about everything. So I am going to say she's vulnerable to radiant. That gives some balance, and she's also resistant to non-magical weapons and bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, necrotic. So I think that one radiant isn't going to kill her. I think that'll be a good balance.
Don't they have a problem with light too? They
Yeah,
have
a little
light
bit. A little bit.
sensitivity.
Yeah. But it doesn't say that here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it
okay.
does. Sunlight hypersensitive. So it's sunlight that does it, not just regular light. And they take radiant damage if they're in the sun. So that's cool. I think regular light would just irritate them. I don't think that they're hypersensitive to it. Oh, and they take acid damage if they end their turn in running water. Okay, so next is, do they have any condition immunities? I would think that, I don't know, would they be frightened ever? I don't think they would.
I don't think so.
Maybe by a religious symbol, but other than that, I can't see them being frightened. So I'm going to say immune to being frightened. It doesn't make any sense to be frightened. Although you can't turn them if they're immune to frightened, so I might want to leave that off. So frightened is the same as turned, so I'm going to leave that on. Let's see. Do they get exhausted? Probably not. So they are immune to exhaustion.
What if they're out in the sunlight?
That's true. And I'll leave it there. I'm trying to think of a little bit of difference here so it's not so generic. And okay. I think that's good enough. I think we played around with that enough. They are immune to. They should be immune to necrotic. Right now it says they're resistant, which means they only take half damage.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
So,
Immune to necrotic makes sense to me.
Yep. So they're going to be immune to necrotic, which is pretty powerful, but they're vulnerable to radiant. And then they have regular resistances, which is half damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. And those magical, they have to be magical also. So that's pretty powerful. Okay, skills. This is where we can get a little bit more crafty. Right now, this particular NPC has a perception of 7 and a stealth of 9. I think to make this character interesting, she should know a few languages. So she knows Common.
Maybe she's gonna know something like Infernal or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait,
I think so.
um.
Yeah, Infernal. That's devils.
Oh, what's it? Psychic. Oh no, that's damage vulnerable. Hey, what if she's vulnerable to psychic damage? That's different. I
How
mean,
about, yeah?
I don't think many people have that. Oh yeah, the bard.
Okay, that's cool.
That voices thing that they do. I think that does psychic damage.
That works. So she can be damaged by powerful memories, like from her past, things like that. So that might be a good thing. That's a really good idea. So she's vulnerable to psychic and radiant. So that's really cool. So for skills, she only has perception and stealth. So maybe she should know some insight. So she can tell if you're lying. Maybe I'll give her a +4 on insight. Deception, is she a liar? I wouldn't think so. She doesn't have anything to hide. Medicine, investigation. Oh, performance. There we go. So she might be able to pretend like she's a damsel in distress or something like that to lure her victims. And then
especially if she's changed
Yep.
to like some innocent looking girl, like,
Right.
help me, help me.
Exactly. And she knows persuasion too really well. So she can talk people into stuff. All right, so common, and she knows, what'd you say, infernal?
Yeah, I was thinking elvish.
Okay, she knows.
Elvish? Wait, was she? Does it do all vampires? They're not all human. I mean, can you be a vampire and be an elf? Be turned into a vampire as an elf?
It depends on the world and the DM, but I would let it happen, but it just depends. But I usually base them off a human.
Yeah.
But you could do it however you want. So where is that infernal? There it is. So she knows common and infernal for sure. Now, does she know any monstrous languages? Probably not. Nope, I don't see anything like that. She can speak any languages it knew in life.
What about undercommon?
That's for the Underdark. Maybe.
Okay. I'm getting my evil things confused.
Yeah, there's no dungeon speak. So thieves can't know. Abyssal, that's for like demons. Celestial might be something.
Wouldn't that be interesting if she
Mm-hmm.
used to be good and a
Okay,
celestial, but now she's evil and a vampire?
there you go. We'll just give her that just for roleplay
But
purposes.
then how is she immune to radiant damage if she used to be celestial?
Yeah, that's true. So I'm going to leave that as, so she knows common and infernal. So she can speak with devil kind. Okay, so now I'm going to go to traits. Right now, she has shape changing, legendary resistance. So if she fails a saving throw, she can just automatically choose to succeed. That is powerful. Misty escape, that's her gaseous form. Regeneration, she gains 20 hit points at the start of her turn if it lasts at least 1 hit point and isn't sunlight or water, running water. Wow. Or taking radiant damage. She has spider climb. Vampire weakness. The vampire has the following flaws. A forbidden, so she cannot be allowed into a residence unless she's invited. She's harmed by running water. And a stake to the heart, if pierced by wood into her heart, she becomes incapacitated and paralyzed until the stake is removed. So that's pretty decent. I'm trying to think of any other traits that we might want to give her, or weaknesses. Well, I think I'm going to leave that for now. I can always add that in when I build in Fantasy Grounds. So she doesn't have any innate casting yet. She's not a spellcaster, so there is a variant where the vampires can have spells. So we could add that. So that's up to the people in the chat. Any takers?
I just asked.
Okay. So should we make her a spellcaster or not? Right now, she's not. It's a variant that comes with vampires. Vampire.
Jenkins said, base it off of Arcane Trickster.
Okay. So what we could do is lower her spellcasting ability. Instead of basing it off intelligence, it'd be based off of charisma, which she has a very high charisma, and
So
change the
more like a
spells.
sorcerer or a warlock.
Yeah, it would be closer to that. So yeah, third caster focused on illusion. Perfect. So I'm going to take the statement that they have here for her spells and switch it around. So I'm going to say in this section where the spell casting is, her caster level, it says it's a level 9. So I should drop it down to what, a third level maybe?
What about fifth?
Yeah, fifth sounds about right. Spellcasting ability will be charisma. Spell save DC is usually it's 8 plus the stat of 4, so that would be 12 for charisma. So her spellcasting DC plus her proficiency bonus, maybe.
I'm
So
thinking if it's a third caster, one third caster, it's
hmm
not going to have that many spells at fifth level, will it? Because
no,
they don't get their spells till
correct,
later.
correct. So I'm just going to give her spells that are based on the bard, and I don't think she's going to get too many spells, probably up to third level. And her spellcasting DC right now is 12. So that makes her a little bit less powerful of a spellcaster.
She's just a new vampire.
So I'm going to add the spellcasting area. So give us some cantrips. What should we give her for cantrips? Presto. Should we give her a little presto?
Mage hand. Oh wait, is mage hand a cantrip? Like, yeah, I think it is.
I'm gonna look up the bard
Yeah.
spells.
She probably maybe what do you call it? Minor illusion.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a cantrip though. I'm yeah. I'm stuck playing cleric, so I don't know anything that can except for my cleric one.
Right. So, where is her list of spells? Okay. So, going to the game rules and going to, let's see. Here's some illusion spells. There we go. And I can set the filter to bard, which is nice. So for cantrips, let's see. Minor illusion and disguise self. Distort value. Illusionary script.
Does she need disguise self because doesn't she have the ability to shape change as a vampire?
Yeah, I think
Or is
that's
that
kind of I think it's kind of redundant for her to have that. But I think minor illusion would be good for her first level or her cantrip. So minor illusion. That'll help her pull off her little stunts. Like make it look like she's bleeding or something. Minor illusion. Let's see. So that's an illusion spell.
what about firebolt? Or you know what? How about green flame blade? That's an interesting spell.
Yeah.
Can
Is it a cantrip?
yes.
Okay.
I pulled up some sorcerer cantrips so that I could see. Oh, there's something called sword burst. I never heard of that before. How about message?
That might be cool.
That because she's charismatic. Message tell you, hey, come to me.
There's also Bane. That's a debuff, but that's first level. Acid splash.
Yeah, but with her being immune, where she gets acid damage from the water, do you think she'd have a cantrip that did acid damage? I mean,
Probably
I don't
not.
know.
Probably not.
How about um infestation?
There we go.
That's kind of a different thing, and
Yeah, let's just
she
put
does
bugs.
the climb thing. The what was it called? Spider climb or whatever. I know
Infestation
that
it
was
is. I like
first
it.
level. Oh, poison spray.
Is that
Nah,
yeah.
these are
So
all cantrips.
okay, let's go to first level.
Okay,
It's got a couple cantrips.
definitely charm person.
Okay. She gets 4 slots.
Definitely mage armor and magic missile, probably, right? I mean, don't all spellcasters get magic missile if they're
That's fine. What's the next? Second.
second
Oh,
level?
she gets one more fourth.
Did you pick all the first level? Because
I'm at
sleep is
first.
pretty cool too.
Yeah, we can do sleep. Okay, now second. Need a couple more charm or illusion type spells.
Is Crown of Madness is an illusion spell, right?
It's more of a mind affecting spell, but it would make sense.
Yeah, but remember she's got that where she is vulnerable to
Yeah.
psychic damage. She probably wouldn't use a spell that did psychic damage.
That's true.
How about mirror image?
That's awesome.
There's pyrotechnics and Misty Step is always helpful. Shatter. I mean, I don't want you to take all these. I'm just reading some ones that I kind of.
No, those are good. She has mirror image, misty step, and
Suggestion.
suggestion.
How is suggestion different from
It's
what
a
was
little
the
bit
other
more
one?
powerful than
Oh, okay.
charm. All right, she gets 1 third level spell.
Well, you know what it's going to be. No, I was going to say
You know.
fireball, but no, probably not for a vampire.
No. Is there any powerful illusion ones? It needs to be like her Hail Mary.
Gaseous form is interesting, but
What about dispel magic?
Counter spell.
Oh,
That's
okay.
always a good one to have.
Counter spell, is it 1 word or 2?
It's one word.
Okay. Counter spell.
At least it is on this website. I think it's one word.
All right. So those are her spells. Mark spells. Okay. All right.
Now, I was in the other, excuse me, I was in the other window and I'm missing all the stuff that Jenkin is saying. He said Ray of Frost because when he thinks vampires, he thinks frost spells.
That would
And
have worked.
shield, I kind of, over shield, I'd rather have mage armor than shield because doesn't shield just apply to your existing? Oh, shield is the one where you can say when someone does a magic missile on you, you say shield, and then you protect yourself.
Yep. Well, we can always change her spells around too.
Ah, yeah, it's a reaction. I always like to have a reaction when I can.
All right. So she does counter spell, Misty Step. Okay. So her spell casting is pretty much done.
Yep.
Countess is a 5th level spellcaster. Her spellcasting ability is Charisma. To hit with spell attacks. Okay. Countess has the following bard spells prepared. All right. Looks good. Looks
I'm
good.
curious why you went with bard over sorcerer.
Because typically that's what you get. We want to do something a little bit more unique.
Oh, that's true.
And she could have been more like a bard in real life before she became a vampire.
I think she should have an instrument too.
Yes, I think you're right. That'll be in her either in her description or in the lore.
I think she should have some special kind of like a violin that has, spells on it where she can cast.
Yep, like a hypnotic lure type thing. Puts everyone to sleep or something.
Since you didn't take sleep, or did you take sleep? Nope, you
She did.
didn't take sleep. Yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
All right, so the vampire makes 2 attacks, only one of which can be a bite attack. So I'm on actions right now. I need to put in the spell casting statement as a trait or as an action. So where did I put that? Yep.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe the spells that I gave you, if some of them might not have been bard spells since I was reading from a sorcerer list. Let me grab a bard list and make sure that what I told you to put down was also available for that.
Mm-hmm. Spell casting.
So what do you have for cantrips? Because I'm looking at the bard spells now, and they have a lot less spells than the sorcerer.
Right.
And we have minor illusion and message and mage hand. Those are still available.
Okay. Okay. And let's see. I should add that sword, but I'm not going to. That's
I
pretty
think a
easy.
lot of the spells we chose are incorrect for the bard. Because I'm looking, what was the one we chose for third level?
Let's see.
Don't think it's here.
Counter spell.
It's not here. Wait, I've seen when I used to watch what you call it?
Counter charm is probably what you're thinking.
Hmm.
So what's third level for a bard?
I got bestow curse, clairvoyance, dispel magic, fear, glyph of warding, hypnotic pattern, major image, dawn detection, plant growth, sending, speak with dead, speak with plants, stinking cloud, tiny hut. Oh God, I love the tiny hut, and tongues. Those are the only third level spells that a bard can know.
Dispel magic.
That's a good one.
Yep.
I also think that the other ones you need to revisit them to make sure, because I think that our cantrips we might have taken stuff that they don't get.
I'm not too worried about it. I mean, it's just a custom.
Hey, it's our build, right? We
That's
can
right.
give them what we want.
Yeah, it's a unique thing. It's not a perfect. And I don't think they're overpowered or anything or unbalanced, so.
No. Oh yeah, bards get hideous laughter. Tasha's hideous laughter. That's always a fun
Yeah, that'd be cool. What level is that?
first level.
Okay. I can replace magic missile with Tasha's. There we go.
It's got the bard can also do heat metal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have her action, spell casting. Let's see. Great sword. That's for a vampire. Okay. So now I am going to copy and paste some data and put this in the background under the description. Interesting. So for her non-ID, I'm just going to put strange female. Strange humanoid female. I'm going to include her spell list, so it'll be on her stat block on the other tab. Are you still with me, LadyShel? Hello. Okay. Did we lose LadyShel?
No, I'm here. I'm trying to turn off the dark mode. Somehow I turned on the dark mode and I'm trying to find out how to turn it back on.
Okay. Got it. All right. Looks like I have quite a bit of good information. Cool. Okay. So now I need to figure out an image. So I'm going to go online and look for something. She's like the vampire queen.
Well, I guess I'm stuck with this dark. It's all black. I don't want it black.
Okay.
I did it one of those control something and I can't find how to turn it back to white. I want the background to be white.
So now I'm going to assign a photo. So desktop. So that's awesome. So I have a really racy looking photo here. I have the token.
Is it PG-13?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing it shows is like she has very scantily clad. She's sitting on a throne and she has this, I don't know what they are, like metallic looking hands that are covering her breasts. But other than that, she ain't got a whole lot on.
Okay.
So she has a slip or a dress on, and she's barefooted.
Sure she does.
Let's see. Vampire's Lair. All right, so let's take a look. So I'm going to save the NPC and add it to this project that I'm working on. All right. And once I do that, I'm going to parse or create the module. And it is done. Now I am going to refresh Fantasy Grounds. So I need to close it down. And go back to the launcher. All right. That will be that. Okay. So now that I'm back to the launcher, I'm going to load up the campaign again. This time, I'm going to load the critically awesome essentials. That way, if I want to use that shape change thing, I can. And I'm going to hit run test. That works. So while that's loading, LadyShel, can you put some links to our join for the event for Spooktober coming up?
Okay, I lost my page. I'll be right back.
So we're going to run a horror-themed Halloween event coming up this weekend. It is the 25th to the 27th, all weekend long. We're calling it the Ultimate Spooktober Weekend, or just Spooktober. Smiteworks has given us the okay to have the license switch from a standard license to the Ultimate. So if you have the standard for that entire weekend, you'll have the Ultimate. And what that does is it allows you to have other people connect to you so you can try to run your own games. And that will be in effect Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And what that will do is just automatically show that you have the Ultimate for the weekend. That removes the limitation of how many people you can host. Again, this is just a temporary thing. It's not permanent. And even if you don't participate in the event, you'll still have that upgrade for the weekend. So now I'm going to go back to Fantasy Grounds.
When I somehow closed the window, and when I came back, now it's back to the light background. And I just posted the link in our chat.
Okay. So the modules I'm going to load up is where I put the vampire. So we'll see how it turned out. Okay. So I'm going to go to NPCs. And I'm going to look for Lilith. Aha. Oh, I don't have the spells. I have it misspelled, I think.
The
Yep.
spells didn't come with it?
Well, it says spell lookup failure. That's because I probably didn't spell that word right. Dispel.
Okay.
So to
Oh,
fix
dispel
that,
only has one L. Maybe you put two?
Yep. So how you fix that is right now I'm in the stat block. It's looking for this spellcasting statement. If for some reason it's not correct, anything misspelled or out of place, it's going to break it. So what I have to do, this is really annoying, but it's part of Fantasy Grounds, is I need to open up a notepad and I'm going to copy and paste this spellcasting statement. So I'm going to hit edit, hit the plus button, and I'm going to copy and paste this trait here, the spellcasting. So I'm going to click on that cell, hit Control A, and then Control C for copy, and then Control V as in Victor for paste. So I'm going to leave that there. Now I have to delete this entire spellcasting statement on the NPC stat block.
Which spell was incorrect?
dispel magic.
Oh, okay.
So I have to delete the entire list. Now I will lock it. I'm going to bookmark this so I don't lose it. The NPC. I have to close the NPC stat block. I'm going to fix my misspelled dispel word and bring up the stat block again and open up the spellcasting statement again. And I'm going to paste this entire area here back to where it was.
I know you did this on purpose just so you could show us how not to do it, right?
Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to lock it again. And as you can see, none of the spells really parsed out right. They were kind of broken. And that's why it gave me this error here, because it's trying to look up a spell that doesn't exist. So now when I refresh it, I'm going to actually clear the chat so you can see. And now I have to close the stat block again because I've altered the spellcasting statement. So I'm going to close it. And when I reopen it, that re-triggers Fantasy Grounds to look up this information again. So that's how you trigger it. So now it's back up. I didn't get any error messages. And it says, yay, here's all the spells, the spell slots. So I fixed my boo-boo. So there we go. So all the spells are there. Now when you go to the other tab, it has all this stuff here, the list of spells.
Oh, that's the vampire basic text, right?
Yeah, most of that is. I can go in there and alter it now. So if I wanted to add her backstory in here, I could. Maybe I'll replace it with this Count Strahd von Zarovich, change it to her words. Then I could potentially go in here and add more stuff regarding her background as a bard. Maybe add her instrument.
Oh, we gotta have the violin in there.
So what we could do is go to items. And let's look for some bardic information here. Maybe some instruments.
I think there's a category or something that you can look stuff up under instruments, can't you?
Yep. So instruments of the bards. There's a mandolin, a harp, a lyra, a flute, a harp. So there's different instruments. So I guess mandolin would be the closest to what you were saying.
I think if you look under type, you could choose instruments.
Okay. Nope, there isn't. Nope. So
maybe it's under adventuring gear. I'm sure I saw something. Well, I mean, maybe not violin, but
here's a viol.
well, that's some. See, it is under a musical instrument, but
Yeah.
Oh, it's under tools. See?
Yep.
If you look under tools, there might be something else.
So what
but
is
that probably would work.
What's a viol though?
What is a viol? Isn't a viol kind of like a violin, kind of? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like a fiddle. It's a mid-sized. Yeah, that's cool.
That works.
Yeah. So she has a viol, and I can change it into a musical instrument that has magical properties.
You could also make a special, you know, not weapon. You can make a special one that you made yourself.
True. So let's do that.
Custom, that's the word. I was trying to think of what I was trying to say. Yeah, make a custom thing, and then it can be a violin.
Yep.
Is this thing going to have spells on it? And if it
Um,
does, then we'll have to add the spells from the spells
right,
list into the text part, I believe, right?
right. So we're going to call it rare. I'm going to make it worth 3,000 gold at least. It's going to weigh a couple pounds. So I think a violin's a little bit smaller than a viol.
I think so. But you
And,
made it way more.
well, 1 pound doesn't sound right for
Yeah.
anything instrument-wise. Let's
All those
see.
spells weigh a little bit.
Oh, the humanity. Okay, so what can this viol do that's spell-wise? Charm?
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of charm type of a spell.
Charm person?
She has that, doesn't she have that as a basic spell? We
Mm-hmm.
should give her something special on that.
Yeah. Let's see. Um, what's another thing that people... Is there a mesmerize? Nope. Maybe it summons undead. Maybe when she plays, it raises the dead.
Wow.
That would be cool. Yeah. Raise dead. It says you normally need a diamond worth at least 500 gold. Yeah, that would be cool. But it raises the dead. That's not create undead. That would be returning a creature back to life. Not what I was looking for. Or we can have it cast hallucinatory terrain, where when she plays, it takes you back to her time where she came from. A hallucinatory terrain is a very powerful illusion. So she might be able to create an entire scene based on her former life when she plays the violin.
What about compulsion? Or dominate person?
There you go.
What about a G's?
Geas.
Geas. Is it G's? Guess? Gaze?
Geas.
I don't know how to say the word.
Geas.
That's a thing where you put this on them and they have to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that they agreed to do.
It's a level
And they are
5.
like,
Level 5
oh,
enchantment.
yeah, she doesn't. You're
Well,
right.
it's
She
the
doesn't have
instrument
that.
though,
No,
not
but
her.
see, this is an
Mm-hmm.
item. This
Yep,
item can have higher level spells than she could
that's
do.
right.
Ooh, modify memory.
You place a magical command on a creature you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of duty that you decide.
There's also something called mass suggestion. That's kind of cool.
While the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 points of psychic damage each time it acts in a manner that's not per your instructions. Ouch.
Which is interesting, seeing that she is vulnerable to psychic damage herself.
Mm-hmm. So maybe it's tied into that somehow. Okay.
Wait, are you reading the geese or
Geas.
geese or?
Geas.
Yeah, okay, I just clicked
Mm-hmm.
on that.
Yep. I think that's a good idea. Geas is a very powerful, compelling spell. So you can link the spell in the text. and maybe notate how many times per day. I would say only once per day.
Definitely. You don't want to make it too powerful. Dominate person would be another good one. Should this one now is the violin only going to have the one spell on it, or will it have multiple spells?
I would just think one for now.
Yeah, because we
It's
don't want to
pretty
make it too
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah. That's a pretty powerful spell.
Also, because it's once per day, it's not like, oh well, you used it up, now you can't use it again. So that's pretty cool that you can use it again.
Yeah, it has to recharge basically.
Would it be possible to have this on there at when you said recharge, it like sparked a memory in my mind of could you put the little, whatever text or whatever thing to have it do a roll for to see if it would charge, or do you want to just keep it to once per day? Because the other option would be to make it like recharge, kind of like like not vampire, a dragon's breath.
Yeah, you could probably do that, but it's not as clean as just making it a spell.
True.
But that would be convenient for the DM, but I'm just going to make an item and link a spell to it, and then take that spell, or excuse me, take the spell and the violin and link it to the back of her stat block.
Now, if you were doing this in your campaign, you would make your spell and you would put it into a custom category so that I'm going to assume that whoever would make this would be creating a module with this vampire and whatever things
Right.
that accessories that go with the vampire with it. So the spell would go, export with the vampire.
So that's her token, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the token needs to go with it too.
hmm Let's see. So let me see if I can link this here.
I think if you wanted that to go with your export, then you would just do it when you exported the thing. You would just drag that token over.
hmm There we go. There we go. Put the spell there for convenience.
Don't forget to change the name of the violin to the same thing that you called it in the block.
I don't necessarily have to.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm gonna say it is a violin besides having spells on it, so she can play it and, you know, probably
Perform.
use it just as a yeah performance type of thing.
Okay. There. Now I made it unidentified, and I just put Lilith's violin for her item.
So what level is Lilith then? If she has level 5 spells, you would think she's probably what, a level 8 character or a NPC?
Probably a little less than 10. Because her casting level in this case is really not determining her level. All it is determining her spell casting level. So she's only a third caster. So that means her abilities and powers are limited to a third, as a full caster would have a lot more spells and a lot higher spells. So it's just limiting the amount of spells she can have, and we lowered her spell casting level to something like around 5th level. So that doesn't really put a level on her per se, just a level on her casting. So we have her violin on here. I don't know what happened to her photo, but it didn't carry over. That's okay. I didn't own the image anyways.
Do you think the thing, sometimes Fantasy Grounds gets mad at you when you try and put stuff that's copyright
It
in
could
there?
be. I doubt
I
it,
don't
but it
know,
could be.
but you're just looking at it. You're not saving it, so I don't see why it wouldn't put it into the spot for a token.
So there's her stat block in the combat tracker.
One of the things that I like about what Lon did with this theme is I like that he changed the little shield that you usually have if you were using the brown theme, has just a shield. His looks like a bat. I think that's cool.
So now she's on the map. That's what she looks like. Lilith. Pretty cool. So that was just a lot of work just to create one vampire. But if we weren't explaining stuff and you had all the artwork ready to go, it would go a lot quicker. And then also you would want to have everything kind of organized before you went into your campaign and created this. But this is kind of a way to show you how to use Fantasy Grounds and also to keep with the spirit and the theme of our upcoming Spooktober event. So, what is going on then, Shell? What's going to happen during the Spooktober event?
Well, Spooktober is a weekend of gaming where we have asked different DMs to run games during the weekend for people to play. We have suggested that they keep it to a spooky theme. So all our games will be either spooky or horror based, or it could be funny spooky, or it can be like Day of the Dead, anything like that. We have about 29 games for people to play in currently, and there's a lot of openings for seats on each of the tables. You can sign up for however many you like. And you would just follow the link that I gave in the chat at the top here. Um, and that will tell you about Spooktober itself. It'll tell you how to make an account if you have not already signed up for our Discord or signed up for an account on our website. We'll tell you how to do that. And then you could look up the different games. I have a list by day so that you could look if you were only available on Saturday but not Friday or Sunday. You could look at just the games that are starting on Saturday. And all our games are listed at UTC0 time zone. So if you're in a different time zone, say you're at +2, you're going to add 2 hours to the start time of what is displayed in the event itself so that you know that's when it starts in your time zone. So it's pretty easy to figure out that type of thing. So basically, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will have things starting from 12 a.m. on Friday through 11:59 on Sunday, and some things even carry over into the 28th, depending on when they start on the 27th. So there could be things on the 28th. I believe I have a link to the things on the 28th as well. So check out that link, sign up, join some games. We have a bunch of different rule sets. I will admit it's mostly D&D 5e games, but we do have some Call of Cthulhu, and we have I know there's one Starfinder game. But anyway, we hope that you'll join us.
Thanks, LadyShel. Yeah, we'd like all you guys to show up if you can. Bring your friends and family. We have plenty of openings for the games coming up. Thanks, LadyShel. And it will be a fun weekend. We also have some prizes coming up. Did you talk about that already?
No, it's in my post, but I will explain it here
We also have
too.
some prizes coming up.
Basically, what we are doing is all the DMs that have signed up for a game, we are taking all the people's names from that, and we are going to do a raffle or a drawing. I guess you could call it a raffle. It's a drawing. I'm going to take all the names and I'm going to draw one winner, and the one winner from the DM list of names will win 2 books total from the Fantasy Grounds store, and that would be up to an amount of $80, so like $40 per book. And then for our players, we will take the names of the people that play on our game during our Spooktober weekend, and we will draw one person from that list of names, and the one of that lucky winner will win 1 book from the Fantasy Ground store. It could be any rule set up to $40, so whatever you want. And the winners will be announced on All Things Fantasy Grounds stream, which is on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's -7 UTC. And I have the link. It's hard to give a link in the Twitch link for that in here. Well, actually, it's not that hard, but I don't have it handy right now. It's in the link that I gave above for Spooktober, which I will copy and paste it back down here again. There. And let's see. So that's the prizes. That's how to register. And if you have any questions when you go on the Discord server, you can certainly contact me, LadyShel, and I'd be happy to give you any information regarding Spooktober. So that's all I got to say.
All right. So again, I'm going to put the join link for our Discord just in case you haven't joined. And if you're looking at this later on, just look up Fantasy Grounds College. Go to our front page on our website. It's fantasygroundscollege.net. And our Discord join link is right there on the front. So if you haven't joined the community and you're watching this later, again, October 25th to the 27th is when we're holding our big Spooktober gaming event. But we're operating nearly 24 hours a day, every single day of the week. And we train and teach people how to use Fantasy Grounds. So if you've never played online and you've lost a lot of your friends or family due to time and distance, you can use Fantasy Grounds to facilitate playing with your friends and family online. So this is kind of a nice little wave of the future when it comes to playing virtual tabletops. I think this is the way that things are going to go in the future. A lot of the brick and mortar stores are kind of closing, and there's fewer and fewer places to play. So this and other virtual tabletops might be your ticket to keep that going. So one of our goals is to keep the hobby alive. So I go ahead and put the link in the chat.
Also, I wanted to mention that we train people as both DMs to use the software as a DM and to use the software as a player. And as a player, you do not have to have a license. You can play if your DM has an ultimate license, you can play with a free copy of the demo. So that's one way that I know a lot of groups will do that. And sometimes the groups will get together and they will all pitch in to help the DM pay for new books or for the ultimate license or however they want to do it. And that's a good way to do it so that the DM is not the only person responsible for paying for everything all the time. And because the players get to play for free, right? But yeah, we'll teach classes. We have various classes to teach DM skills, and we have various classes to show you as a player what you can do. So come on by and join some of our classes.
Again, this is founder Laerun and LadyShel. This is our Spooktober themed preview where we're just kind of talking to the community and also kind of plugging and advertising our Spooktober event. This will go up on YouTube if you want to look at any of the content that we've showed today. Um, it will be in a Spooktober playlist. And as we gather more videos from that event, if we get any more, we'll add them there. So nice to see and hear from all of you. LadyShel and I will be signing off. Have a good evening, everybody.
Bye bye.